Keyonte George was absolutely brilliant. Walker Kessler was totally amazing. Lauri Markkanen's third quarter was incredible. And the Jazz stun a very tired Rocket team in Salt Lake City and grab a surprising win. We're talking about it next on POSTCAST. Matty Thomas, everybody, say hi to your Utah friends. Can I quote you on that?
Yes.
But nobody was trying. This is what I always say. Matt Tom, can I really say exactly what you said? I was amazing. Why weren't they amazing?
That's awesome.
Okay, here's my one thing I always say. Is I can call a game after getting at 4 o'clock in the morning and be all right, but no one's trying to dunk on my ass. Keyonte George nightmares. You are going to have Keyonte. Do you think you're going to have Walker Kessler nightmares? Matty Thomas is upset, people, and he's a wonderful man. But, hey, Ryan Hollins, see you, man. Get some rest. We'll talk. Call me. You got my number.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And Craig Ackerman, babysat my kids. I haven't even said hi to him yet. Hey, by the way, Craig, the kid you babysat's graduating from college in June, but you're not old yet. The kid you babysat is graduating in June. When you did the game for me, that's right. Craig did games for me when my kid was born, and his wife babysat him when I had him on the road once. Okay, it's just a whole family event here. We're all happy and giggles. The Jazz beat the Rockets 124-115. This was a collective effort tonight, but I got 3 guys that I want to just single out, and there are other guys who played well, but 3 guys tonight were so terrific that I want to single them out.
Go ahead.
First of all, if that's Keyonte George, that's awesome. That's the best game I've seen Keyonte George ever play. I don't care about the 9 threes in Golden State. That was just getting hot. Tonight, he played off the ball. He played on the ball. I thought he defended. I didn't think he was reckless. I didn't think he took a bad shot all night. I thought he stayed engaged. Aaron Holiday tried to punk him like last year, and he punked Aaron Holiday back. He played with there's been a coolness to Keyonte when he was a rookie that I honestly didn't love. Tonight, there was a swagger instead of a coolness, and that's a big difference to me. I'm confident, I'm out here, I'm as good as anyone, and I can play with you. In the past, it was almost like an insecurity that I want to look cool when you didn't have anything in your back pocket to back it up. He had everything in his back pocket to back that up tonight.
Yeah, play with a tremendous amount of energy. You say cool and confidence, and that both of those go together. Because if you got a ton of confidence, you can be cool out there on the floor. I'm kind of cool here tonight.
You're always cool.
Yeah, but I really liked the way he was playing. He was seeing the play under control. Even when he was driving to the basket, it was not like he was trying to. As bowler, I'm spinning back, but it was a fun game. I thought because of Keyonte, and that's what I enjoyed.
Okay, my next one I want to single out is the Rockets grabbed 36% of all offensive rebounds. This is how they live. They're 28th in the league in the half court. They're the 28th shooting team. They're not a good three-point shooting team. Since Fred VanVleet's gone out, their offense has fallen off a cliff. Without VanVleet, they've gone from an offensive rating of 117 to 111. Their only way they survive is offensive rebounds. It's literally like they're hunting and gatherers who are going to starve to death unless they can go out and find an offensive rebound. And Walker Kessler tonight and the team collectively rebounded, and then Walker had as many offensive rebounds, 8, as the Rockets had in the entire game.
So what's impressive about that is the fact that, I don't see how they average so many rebounds. It looks like they're very aggressively challenges guys in the paint, but I just don't see their why or how they're that good of a rebounding team. 2
things. Being fair to them, they got it at 4 o'clock in the morning last night after playing Minnesota.
That's true.
And they may have lost a little juice. 2, they didn't have Steven Adams, who comes off the bench and grabs 2 or 3 a game.
Yeah, he's getting about 12 minutes a game.
Yep, and he grabs 1 or 2, 3 offensive rebounds a game. And then I just think we did a great job on it. I think we were committed. Amon Thompson gets a few. It's collective. It's not like one guy's, Walker leads the league, right? Yes. It's collective. And they just didn't get that collective effort, or the Jazz didn't allow them to get it. And I thought Will was interesting because Will in the press conference talked about them back tapping out all the time.
And that's where I was going to go with this.
And they didn't do that. We didn't see that very often today.
Couldn't do it, or unable to do it because of Walter Kessler and just the way we rebounded the basketball.
So, right. Okay, third one I want to single out. Then I'll let you have the show back at some point. Lauri Markkanen was 2 of 14 last night. He was 1 of 8 at one point tonight. I literally said on the broadcast, he's 3 of his last 22. And then he came out and just put a stamp on the third quarter with, I think, 12 points in that third quarter. And I thought, broke the Rockets' will at that point. The Rockets, we cannot ignore it, came in at 4 o'clock in the morning last night off the tough game with Minnesota. And Evan Brads was our halftime interview and said to us, like, they're going to come out with this physicality. They're going to amp it up to another level. And they didn't. And then Lauri took advantage and I thought, broke their will at that point. But even at that point, the Rockets still led going in the fourth quarter, and the Jazz for the first time in 32 times this year when they've trailed going in the fourth quarter came back to win a game. So even then, the Rockets still fought back, but then the Jazz were able to control it in the fourth. All right.
2 things. 3.
Yes.
Well, one thing for sure is that Lauri was missing the 3-point shots coming off screens. I'd say during the course of the year, the way he was shooting the 3, 50% of the time when he was coming off those screens like that, especially the play, our favorite play and his favorite play there as well, coming from the baseline, going to his right and pulling up and shooting the 3. He didn't make those. When he got going there in the third quarter, it was a lob that he got. It was also a drive to the basket and for a layup. Then the next shot, he may have had another bucket in between there because he ended up for the night with 8 buckets, and I only think he had 1 at the half. But he ended up, say, 3 shots that were not 3-point shots. That next shot was a 3, and then the range came.
And if I remember that next shot, if I have the right one, my favorite play of the night was Keyonte brings it up, or Collier brings it up, and Walker sprints to set a pick for Lauri at the top. In an early offense, Lauri catches it at the top off a quick pick and hits the 3. An early offense plays. I thought that was a beautiful setup there by the Jazz.
Well, it also just spearheaded the Jazz, 60-something% in that third period, or was it 60-something% in the fourth period? That
they're 14 of 20. Their second half shooting,
61% in that
and
third
the Jazz
period,
were 15 of 22 in the fourth. I mean, those are signs to me. Again, the Jazz deserve credit. They took what they could take. Jazz going 15 of 22 against the 4th best defense in the NBA tells me that the 4th best defense in the NBA was exhausted. I just think we have to, there's going to be nights where we talk about our guys being dead-legged, and then the other team took advantage of it. But the thing to me was interesting is that the Jazz trailed tonight going in the fourth quarter. Like they had not won a game all year trailing going in the fourth quarter.
Well, got it done. Made some big buckets, some defensive shots, but as you pointed out so often, did not give up any offensive rebounds, and that just probably helped them win the ball game.
Our 3 rookies looked better than the 3rd pick of the draft.
Yeah, that's true.
Cody Williams, Isaiah Collier, and Kyle Filipowski all looked better than the 3rd pick of the draft, and Reed Shepherd, who did not look good tonight. The Rockets do have – I've watched a lot of Rockets since I try to watch every close game finish in the NBA. I don't make it to all of them, but they have played the most of anyone in the NBA, so I've watched a lot of them. They don't have Van Vliet. They're not quite right. But they also just don't have – they have a lot of young, good players. They do a lot of things well. But the team we watched last night in Oklahoma City has a top 10 player in the NBA, top 5. They have a top 20 player in the NBA in either Jalen Williams or Chet Holmgren, whichever you want to choose. And they have a top 50 player in the other. The Rockets don't have that. They don't have a top 10 player. They don't have a top 20 player. And they may not have a top 50 player.
But they win.
Well,
that's the way to win.
Right.
Now, one other thing here is that, true, and then we had a couple of guys that Van Leaf is hurt. How much does Tate play?
Tate doesn't, but Tari Eason does play a lot. And he was out
so those guys are out. So you say, okay, they were shorthanded because of this player and that player. But Jeff Green had one heck of a night.
He did.
So did they miss him?
Right.
Did they miss Tate? Because Jeff Green played so well. So
I do think they
sometimes
also,
we overuse that.
right. Well, Jazz were without Colin Sexton, John Collins, and Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, true.
All right. I thought the other one was super fun tonight was watching Keyonte George and Isaiah Collier tonight. They just seem to have an energy amongst themselves and a chemistry. Keontae's effective field goal percentage is league average. He's one of the least efficient players in the entire NBA. He's league average when he plays on the floor with Isaiah Collier, which to me is like the most exciting thing going on with the Jazz right now, other than Walker, is that Keyonte playing off ball seems to be a viable NBA player. Like that to me is super exciting because Keyonte was brilliant. Let's dig into me tonight on Keyonte. Give me some real thoughts on his 30-point performance tonight.
He shot the basketball well. I get the feeling that if he did not make those shots, if say he went tonight, he went 10 for 17.
Yep.
Say he went 5 for 17.
Well, that would be terrible.
Then that would be terrible. Got to the line 10 times.
That's pretty great.
And that's great. He had 8 rebounds and 6 assists.
That's big time.
Floor game was good.
Yeah.
Awfully good. So even if you're not making shots, you can find ways to impact the game in some other areas. So you're absolutely right. You can say he didn't shoot the basketball well, but look at the rebounds he had in 29 minutes. Or look at the assists he had in 29 minutes. So you make an impact in a short period of time. I love that when guys can do that.
Yeah. What do you think of chemistry between Isaiah Collier and Keyonte George and whether that matters?
Well, I like it. And it has to be, if you understand what I mean. If they're going to be the backcourt, if they're going to be guys that are going to spend a lot of time on the floor together, then it has to be. They have to figure it out if it's not there. And Will, for the most part, has to give them a chance to do that, just that. Keyonte was a 2-guard.
Yeah.
And he did not have a point guard mentality. Isaiah Collier does. He understands or is not that excited or demanding that he scores 20 points a ball game. He understands setting guys up and being a leader out there on the floor.
Do you think Keyonte looks noticeably more comfortable to you off the ball?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. That's his natural position, yes.
Okay. All right. We've probably forgotten someone. They played really well tonight. Kyle Filipowski had some good moments.
Yeah, he did.
KJ Martin started tonight, was really solid. In 29 minutes, he's not a good shooter. They let him shoot. He went 1 of 5, but he did everything else really well. What are your reliability pluses tonight?
I'm going to go with the starting 5. And
Bryce Sensabaugh? Really?
Oh, he was in the starting 5.
Yeah.
Not since. I'm going to go with Martin. I'm going to give Markkanen.
Yep.
Martin.
Yep.
Kessler.
Yep.
Collier.
Yep.
Keonte.
Yep.
And Cody Williams.
Cody Williams sneaking in with a reliability plus.
Yeah.
And a post-game interview.
Yeah. And it was good. He understands.
YouTube. Chat amongst yourselves. 4 rookies played tonight. Reed Shepard, the 3rd pick. Cody Williams, the 10th pick. Isaiah Collier, the 29th pick. Kyle Filipowski, the 32nd pick. Not who's better today. Isaiah Collier's the best player right now, which is interesting because he's not any older than who's the best player in 5 years. If you're redrafting that group in 5 years, what order are you taking?
You're asking your...
Well, I asked the YouTubers to comment. People can hit me on if they're listening. They can hit me
I don't know. Collier's going to be the best of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Ron Boone says Collier's going to be the best of them.
Because he can be a leader out there on the floor.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's going to have to shoot it, but he may be able to shoot it enough. He's beginning to show signs.
All he has to do is average it. If he wants to average a certain amount of points, 10, 11, 12 points a ball game, leadership and assists, he's a pretty good defensive player, you think? Average?
I think he could be a really good defensive player.
Okay, so.
I think when he figures it out, he could be a really good defensive player. He's big. That is POSTCAST tonight. Jazz beat the Rockets 124-115. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. On audio, check out Locked and NBA every night. Wow, kid just dunked.
Did he really?
I mean, how old are these kids? That kid's not old.
They look like
really
they're
long,
12 or 13 years old.
This kid just dunked. It was pretty funny, by the way. They're playing like this 5-on-5 game, and for the longest time, I thought every single kid was wearing a Lauri Markkanen jersey. And then I realized that two kids are actually wearing Keyonte jerseys too. But at first, I thought every kid was just wearing the same Lauri Markkanen jersey. All right, have a great night. See you.